Welcome back to the Gweilo 60 channel. Today we're going to be talking about the cult. Not the band, the cult. We're going to be talking about the Falun Gong cult and how they've grown so big and how a trumpet player from China could build something of this magnitude and get so much influence around the world. A trumpet player that will save the world. Not only save the world, but levitate. Yes, he can levitate. Well, according to him, he can levitate. Not only can he levitate, but he can walk through walls. So, when the Falun Gong cult, because they are a cult, says that the Chinese government is imprisoning them because as a Falun Gong member, you can levitate and you can walk through walls also. Wow, we should all join this cult because wouldn't it be nice to be able to fly to work? And then if you got arrested and got put in jail, you could just walk through the wall and you'd be free again, fly away. This is what this psychotic Li Hongzhi, Master Li, is telling his disciples all around the world. All around the world, except for in China. Why? Because in 1999, the Chinese government outlawed the Falun Gong cult in China. And for good reason, because Falun Gong members are not allowed to seek out medical help if they get sick. If you do your meditation and your little exercises correctly, it will kill all disease. You can be disease-free if you become a Falun Gong or Falun Dafa disciple. Good for you. See, you don't need a doctor. You don't need to pay medical bills. You can, but then again, since 1992, when this cult became a cult, to 2002, over 1,700 Falun Gong members died because they didn't go see a doctor, because they believed in this rhetoric. Not only that, but because it was such a strain on, because you're not allowed to read any other books, you're not allowed to have any other doctrines, you're not allowed to do anything but Falun Gong stuff. So 300 people committed suicide. Members of the Falun Gong committed suicide during this time period too. So you think, why would anybody join something like this? Well, because if I do it right, I can fly, I can levitate, I can walk through walls. And because I do this circular motion, it makes my insides, my internal organs perfect. As Donald Trump, we'll get to Donald in a minute. But it makes my insides perfect. So where do you think the rumors of organ harvesting by the Chinese Communist Party comes from of Falun Gong members? Because our internal organs are perfect. The communists want them. Well, since the communists kicked them out of China, you can't be here no more. They got their nose out of joint. Then they get into bed with the right-wing American government politics, the Republicans, the Trump of the world. Yes, sirree. Master Li has told the world that Trump is a divine person. He's there to save you from all your woes. Yes, sirree. Trump is the guy. You know, Trump did a lot of good things when he was in. He did a lot of stupid things, but everybody has good and bad. You know, I think financially, he was helping the United States with lower gas prices, lower taxes, more business, and you know, he was all for the American people. So he's doing a good thing. But when you have to get in bed with a cult like Falun Gong, you see, there's a dance troupe, Shenyang, I think it's called, which is a on the road promotion for Falun Gong. You've got major mainstream media outlets like the Epoch Times, Everybody's seen the Epoch Times. Not only will they tell you bad things about China, but they'll show you little things on YouTube or Twitter or TikTok or Douyin. Well, maybe not Douyin. Maybe not TikTok because that's Chinese too. But I think they've been outlawed from them too. But they'll show you a little doggy, a pretty little kitty. They'll switch it up to make you think that they are really good, nice people. Oh yeah, they'll switch it up. But the idea that you've got a cult that focuses on controlling their people to the point where they're not even allowed to read books about anything else. They're only allowed to do what Master Li tells them to do. They're not allowed to walk into a Catholic church. Well, this sounds like a cult to me. What does it sound like to you? Remember the Moonies? Reverend Moon was, see, this is another cult. The Moonies, it's basically exactly the same as what they're doing with the Falun Gong. They had the Washington Times newspaper. Yes. Reverend Moon backed Nixon and Reagan. Republicans? Yes. We're all for guns and all of this other stuff. So from the mainstream media to backing a president to getting in bed with the Western right-wing political party as it is at that time period. So there's really no difference between the Moonies and the Falun Gong. I think the Falun Gong has actually gotten bigger because you've got your Epoch Times, big mainstream media. You got new Tang Dynasty. You got China in Focus. You've got China Uncensored on YouTube. You've got all of these different outlets that are all financed and run by the Falun Gong cult. And what have they all got in common? They're anti-China because Falun Gong was kicked out of China. Oh yeah, you got the boots, so now you got your panties in a bunch. And can you say that now in this day and age? Well, I guess so. Panties in a bunch, and everything that you do is to try to blacken the face of the Chinese Communist Party to everyone around the world. It doesn't matter whether they're in Zimbabwe, Canada, Spain, or wherever. It really doesn't matter because this Falun Gong cult is basically everywhere around the world. Maybe not in person, but media-wise, oh yeah, they're there. And because Falun Gong and their news media outlets are so powerful around the world, because they do have that propaganda power in the Western media, because they're so powerful, whenever some other outlet sort of outs them and tells you what they are and who they are, they get flack, and they get flack from all different directions. So I would imagine I'm going to get some flack for this video from a number of different directions, but you know me, I don't care. This is all because I'm trying to tell you the truth about what's going on in the world as I know it. And after spending 20 years in China and being associated with the Chinese sort of society, not only in China, but in Canada, in the United States, and other places around the world, in Singapore and Thailand and Malaysia and even Japan, that I see this happening. I see who's doing it. I see who's behind it, and I see the protection that they get from certain governments around the world. And it's not right. Propaganda is propaganda. Cults are cults. People are being taken advantage of by this cult. If your religion / cult tells you that you cannot read any other doctrines, tells you that you don't go see a doctor, that if you do meditation and the right exercises, that it will kill all diseases. If that cult tells you that you can levitate, and if that cult tells you you can tells you you can walk through walls, if that cult bans interracial marriages, yes, they ban interracial marriages too in this religious cult. If, you know, all of these different things sort of should make you think, should make you understand. But you see, because they're masters at propaganda, they'll show you the pretty puppy, then they'll show you a video on, say, China in Focus that blackens the face of Chinese by saying Beijing is filling America with fentanyl. And then when you get into the video, the news video about it, it's all about Mexican cartels bringing drugs into the United States. And like one or two little things come up in that video about, oh, the chemicals are coming out of China. There's no proof of this. There's just like there's no proof of harvesting organs. There's no proof of, well, there's no proof of anything that the Falun Gong says. Obviously, things like the coup on President Xi was easily found out to be bullshit. But as I say, these people, they spread so much misinformation around the world that you can't distinguish between what's right and what's wrong and where it comes from, because I've got so many different outlets that it's hard to figure it all out. But now that you know what I know about this particular cult, maybe when you see an Epoch Times, NTD, New Tang Dynasty, when you see China in Focus, when you see China Uncensored, and China Uncensored in one of their videos said we have no affiliation, none at all, with Falun Gong, but they've been proven to be, so they say, oh, we'll be truthful. Oh, we're going to give you the truthful news. And they do that. That's one of their things that they try to advertise. I get their stuff on my email. They email me stuff. Oh, yeah, the truthful news. Well, no, it's not. It's all propaganda. It's all hype. It's all designed to get you to look at China in a different light. Yes. And that, my friends, is another video from Gweilo 60. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to resubscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell. And put a couple bucks on the Patreon account. It helps with this. Thanks for watching. Until next time, peace out. Bye now.